name is from Farouk. I want to suggest an opinion. I want to all of us look deeply in this to what Allah has said in Surah Al-Ahzab. Surah Al-Ahzab in verse 36. Allah said that it is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by Allah and His Messenger, to have any option for their decision. If anyone disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he is indeed on a clearly wrong path. Okay, from what that I've seen before, all of the issues that feminism struggle on is justice in Islam. Justice in Islam toward women. It's part of the agree that Allah is fair and Islam is fair. But what I want to highlight now is all of the Islamic law that they argue is then decided by Allah and His Messenger. For example, Faraid, the woman and woman rights, all of that is Allah and His Messenger has decided in the Quran and Sunnah. So who are we to deconstruct or to attaching all of this decision that Allah and Rasul has made? We as Allah's servant, and who are we to attaching that Allah decided these decisions? Are we as good and better from Prophet Muhammad and his companion? So I'm very sure that if we come back to the really Islamic teach that was delivered by Prophet Muhammad and his companion, we will find that Islam is a really fair religion, a really justice religion. Islam is only the religion that it comes with justice and justice to human being. So I think all of that. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum. My name is Farish. I have two questions. My first question is Muslim feminism, is it really relevant to the context of our country, or is it worth discussing, or should we discuss on the real underlying problem, which is the misinterpretation, abuse of power under the name of Islam, which has affect not only the women but the poor, children, even the non-Muslims. And my second question is for Sister Zainah about I would like to know about the view of the point of view from Musa on the right to divorce. Currently, in general condition, the Sharia law provide the right to divorce only to men. And do you see that this is a form? Is this a form of inequalities? As a form of inequalities. I think that's all. Thank you.
Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have a few concerns. Thanks God, some of them have been settled already. But I would like to repeat that this Islamic feminism, I do agree with Sister Zainah that Islamic feminism is not actually the right terminology, because every word has actually a way of translating into other languages, or a way of saying it into the same context. So the hermeneutics and the etymology of the term is actually in a wrong context. Having said that, I would like to mention another concern that I have been teaching a subject called Islamic political thought and Islamic ethics for the past 15 years. So in every particular semester, I have this feminism coming in one way or the other. What I would suggest is that the cause for feminism is right and correct, but the methodology used is sometimes problematic. For instance, I think Muslim women have a problem with a Muslim man, and I have my wife in the hall, so I hope I say the right thing. The idea that Sister Zainah and others involve themselves very much with what Islam has said is not correct. Islam has said all the good things about women and women's position. I think all the speakers have agreed. Muslims who know Islam, including Sister Zainah, agree that. But the problem is with Muslim men. From the time of the Tabi'un until today, the reason why somebody was mentioning, we don't have the sister of Ibn Sina becoming like Ibn Sina, or the sister of Imam Shafi'i becoming a scholar like Imam Shafi'i, is because of the father of Ibn Sina did not send his daughter to school, but he sent Ibn Sina to study. He sent Imam Shafi'i to study. So that's why you don't have the sister of Imam Shafi'i becoming a faqih, or the Ibn Sina sister becoming a philosopher. So the problem actually is not with Islam. The problem is the cultural Muslim way. Now, I would suggest, if they want to listen, to the Muslim feminists, wage war, and not aggressive one, as you have suggested, against the Muslim men, not Islam. I think I can't really emphasize on that particular point. Now, the other problem I have is the understanding of those groups. And I'm not talking about only sisters of Islam, but I'm talking about the feminist groups. There is a amalgamation, there is a mixture, there is a chaumprisation of views. As far as where is Islamic, where is Western, where is the position of a Muslim woman, a feminist Muslim woman, where is the position of a feminist non-Muslim woman? And when I say non-Muslim, I'm talking about a westernized, because everything has its own context. So, if you want to become a Muslim feminist, which is, you mentioned, Sister Zainah mentioned the right word, a Muslim feminist, I think I would suggest two things. One, identify clearly yourself from the other misconceptions that Muslims have about the Western feminism. That's number one. Number two, I think Muslim feminists also need to understand Islam properly and accurately. One of the things that has been mentioned is that the fara'id is not defined. I think the fara'id is mentioned in the Quran and it's defined. And if women understand fara'id, ilm al-fara'id for instance, they will have no problem with that. But they still who distort and destroy ilm al-fara'id is the one who interprets. And that is the Muslim ulama, that's the Muslim, that is a man again. Thank you very much.
My name is Ahmad, a student of philosophy at Istat IAE. I have few comments, few questions, and two corrections.
Please make it brief, okay?
All right. by about 3 callers requested for the dress code for the forum today. As one of the event management committee of ISTAC here, I said the dress code should be formal. And further question was raised that, what do you mean by formal? I said, make yourself covered. And what do you mean by covered? I said, oh, you are attending a forum at the International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization. It is expected that the dress code of the institution is respected. That was with regard to the calling and the dress code. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. I think in an intellectual discussions like this, opinions are to be well respected. In comments to the comments of the first commentator, who regards the comment and the speech of Ustaz as erroneous and misleading and misguiding. This kind of comments should not be directed to our well-distinguished and respected scholars of the caliber of Ustaz Uthman El-Muhammady. Please, if an apology has to be requested for that, that is all. With regard to the future of Islamic feminism, I'm still yet to be convinced about that title itself, but I hope with further studies later, I may understand it further. But here, there is a quotation by Sister Zainah, if I'm right about it, about the UN resolution, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity or something of that nature. May I request from Ustaz a further clarification of this in the light of وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ and وَرَفَعَ بَعْضَكُمْ فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ دَرَجَاتٍ. So may I request further clarification and interpretation of that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity in the light of that Quranic verses. And the injustice done and committed against women, I think it should not be seen as the injustice, this should be seen as injustice of man himself against himself. This is not an Islamic problem. Islam has got no problem with injustice of man done against himself. This is the problem again. So the issue of women not leading and not being in forefront of affairs should not be made peculiar to Islam. This is a natural philosophical system which is understood in many manifestations.